for that at least. Can Sal's Cowboys turn this season around? Will Todd continue to bet on his beloved NHL? And I can't wait for you to see Clay's new haircut, baby. Lock It In starts right now. To Lock It In, the show that puts its money where its mouth is. I am your host, Rachel Bonetta. Joining me today and every day, former Caesars odds maker Todd Fuhrman, host of Fox Sports Radio's Outkick the Coverage, and chronic finger pointer Clay Travis. And last but not least, Emmy award-winning writer and television personality Cousin Sal. Sal, Clay has like 87 future bets out there, and you have 2. What's the strategy?
Well, my strategy is to give the people who are tuning in to watch the day of the event what they want, a game to bet on that night. And Travis doesn't abide by the rules. He doesn't care.
Can we just take a quick sec to talk about Clay's haircut? I think that he took his boys to the salon and got a 3-for-1 deal. The only thing you're missing is frosted tips, my friend.
I got told that my hair looked great when I just sat down to check in. I actually think my hair looks phenomenal.
Who told you that?
Did
Your
I
mom?
go supercut?
She's sweet.
Yeah, no.
She's a sweet woman.
Whit, our producer. I
can't
sat
go off
down.
what Whit says. All right.
Our producer, call him out.
Moving on. All right. See
I'm
that?
more concerned. Why is it so dark in my window compared to everybody else's? Are you guys
Forget about it. We're trying to shield the people. All right, see that bar above me? That tracks the guys' money and bets throughout the show. They started the week with 1,000. Much more on that later. But first, we are going to talk the biggest sports stories on planet Earth. We call this segment Handicapping the Headlines. Coming up later tonight on Fox, it's Thursday Night Football as the Eagles square off. Never gets old. Square off against the Giants. The line in this game has moved to a full point from 2.5 to 1.5 in favor of the Eagles. Todd, what do you make of this line movement, my friend?
You know what, Rachel? There's actually been even more line movement than that. Number got as high as 3 in the middle of the week before you started to see Giants money come into the market. And it's a question of consumer confidence crisis with Philadelphia. This team doesn't look anything close to the 2018 edition that we saw win the Super Bowl. And right now, Philadelphia trying to find their way offensively, averaging about 10 points less per game. And you can't put all the onus on Carson Wentz. Their defensive frailties are starting to show, but with weather in the forecast at MetLife Stadium today, their ability to run the football may ultimately make the difference here. While I respect the money that's come in on the Giants, I'm not sure I actually agree with it.
I think the play here is the over. We saw after forever, it's been since 2015 that the Giants actually got above 30 points. And right now, the number is all the way down at 44. And I think what's going to happen, are you guys laughing at my hair?
No,
do I hear laughter in my ear? My hair looks incredible,
the laughter's in your head. That's how bad
it
is.
No, you can trust me so well right here. I'm telling you right now, the play beyond a shadow of a doubt is to take the over. The Eagles offense is going to come out and try to establish itself with Carson Wentz. Right now they are scoring 10 points less per game than they did last year. They need to take the onus off of their running game given that Ajayi's out. And so I think they're going to put everything onto Carson Wentz's shoulders. I also think that Odell Beckham Jr. and Saquon Barkley in a signature game. Eli Manning, for all the criticism, actually has his highest passer rating so far. I think both of these teams are going to come out and score. There's a very good chance, again, the over is going to cash with ease midway through the third quarter. I am telling you, take the over 44. And by the way, you're not going to see a better haircut than this on any grown man.
I see 2 of them actually side by side beside you right now.
I can't get over this. I would ask Clay if he lost a bet, but anyone who watches the show knows that's exactly the case. That happened. Unbelievable. Listen, people were betting the Giants as if it's a foregone conclusion times 2, which I like to call an 8-gone conclusion. Have you heard of that, Rachel? No, that's actually, I just made that up. But the Eagles 3-1 against the spread, 3-1 straight up against the Giants in the last 3 years. Giants 3-1 against the spread in the last 3 years against the Eagles. Something has to give. What we haven't had yet is a really wonky Thursday night game. And if we're going to have it, it's going to be seen on Fox television. Yes, Fox television will show us that wonky game. Tune in.
Hey, you know what the best part about this question, Sal, was for Clay? They talked about the line movement and the money coming in on the Giants. He didn't even mention it. He wanted to go right into the over-under, which had absolutely nothing to do with what we were trying to discuss here.
It's kind of a big part of the story here, Fuhrman.
Yeah, I don't know what part of the story it's trying to tell, because that haircut, I'm completely off my game. You guys made fun of me, but turnabout's fair play.
He's more into his,
hold on a second.
For Todd.
Off
He's more
the haircut
into his hairline movement than anything else.
Well, by the way,
Stop.
What's going on? You guys are taking shots at the hair. What about Bonetta's shirt? What is this? Is this like
nothing wrong.
What is going on with? Is that a jacket? Are you one of MC Hammer's backup dancers? I don't know what's going on.
We're bringing the MC Hammer catalog back.
As Le'Veon Bell is set to return from his holdout, James Conner has been stepping it up for the Steelers. Pittsburgh quarterback Ben Roethlisberger was asked how he would handle the running back situation when Bell returns. Take a listen.
It's a good thing I'm not the coach. I don't know. I think James has done some amazing things that deserves to be on the football field. We also know what Le'Veon is and what he brings to the table. So I guess we'll cross that bridge if and when it happens.
Good thing I'm not the coach. The Bengals are laying a 4.5 at home and are favored over the Steelers for the first time since 2015. Todd, how confident are you in the Bengals here?
You know, when I look at Cincinnati, these are the kind of games that make them the Bengals because people go in with expectations. They're finally going to turn the corner, and they'll fall flat on their face. Big Ben owns Andy Dalton, an 11-3 record against him. Pittsburgh's won the last 6 meetings here, and unfortunately for the Bengals, you have to play defense to beat the Steelers, and right now, the Bengals aren't doing anything close to that. I think the Steelers are going to use James Conner running between the tackles. They're going to throw him the ball out of the backfield. We're going to see a steady dose of Juju Smith-Schuster, Antonio Brown, and Andy Dalton just doesn't have the wherewithal to try and keep this game close and match the Steelers score for score. Since week 3, 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Andy Dalton is who we knew Andy Dalton was going to be, and this is where he falls flat. The Steelers win and remind us why they're the team to beat in this division.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was surprised to learn that they took the last 6 in this series, but I do like the Bengals here. 4-1 against the spread this season. 5-1 against the spread at home in their last 6. Let's think about the genius of Le'Veon Bell. After week 4, he announces that he's coming back week 7. And that wasn't an accident because Pittsburgh-Cincinnati is a bloodbath. Vontaze Burfict is going to wear Kevlar hanging from his shoulder pads. There's a stretcher every 3 plays. And Le'Veon doesn't want any part of it. And I think his teammates are going to resent him for it. I just hope everyone remembers to wear a cup. That's all.
Okay.
Ben Roethlisberger right now is 11-3 against Andy Dalton head-to-head in this matchup, which makes me a little bit nervous taking the Bengals as the favorite. Also, if you kind of go behind the number and look beyond just the record, the Bengals have won a lot of close games, starting with the first game of the season against the Colts. They won late against the Falcons. They were very fortunate to come back against the Dolphins. They're 4-1, but they could easily be 1-4. And also, if you look at the overall landscape in the AFC North, if you look at these odds, what you see is pretty significant here. If the Bengals could win, they're already the favorite right now. Baltimore's going on the road against the Titans, a tough game. Nobody has any belief whatsoever right now in the Browns. But if the Bengals could win this game, they go to 5-1. There's a decent chance then at that point Pittsburgh's 2-3-1. Baltimore could go to 3-3. There's a good chance, I think, that the Chargers are going to go on the road and get the win against the Browns. The Bengals could really open a massive lead right now in the AFC North if they were able to get this win. Having said all that, I just can't bet on them. I don't believe in Andy Dalton against Ben Roethlisberger.
Having said all that, you're wrong, okay? There's people that believe in the Browns. There's at least one. Maybe, okay?
No.
Moving on. The big game in the AFC this week takes place on Sunday night as the Chiefs travel to New England to take on the Patriots. KC quarterback Patrick Mahomes knows that the Patriots will do whatever they can to make his life difficult on Sunday.
I mean, they're going to have a great game plan. They're going to have ways to take away the stuff that we've had success with so far this season. I expect them to throw some stuff out there that's unscouted, but at the same time, we're going to keep just working on our game plan and keep doing things that we do well in order to have success.
Patrick Mahomes over the phone. Doesn't sound much better. Todd, New England is a 3.5-point favorite against the Chiefs. Do you like the Patriots against this red-hot Kansas City offense?
I do. All things that go up must come down, and Kansas City's stock right now is at the top of the market. This team is undefeated. They're unblemished against the spread as well. But we started to see Kansas City struggle a little bit offensively last weekend. Don't be blinded or fooled by the final score. They beat Jacksonville 30-14. Patrick Mahomes didn't show that same explosive big play potential when he was contained within the pocket. And the other problem for Kansas City, this defense isn't just bad right now. It has the potential to be historically bad. Against this New England offense with all of its weapons back in the passing game and Sony Michel starting to feel more comfortable with 40-plus carries over the last 2 games and 200 yards, New England has a wealth of ways that they can attack Kansas City. And if Justin Houston can't go, Dee Ford's limited. This secondary is a mash unit. I don't think Patrick Mahomes, at this point in his career, can go on the road and match Tom Brady score for score. This is a little bit of an underlay for the Patriots. It's favored or pass.
I'm going to turn it around on you, Todd, a little bit here, because look at what the Patriots did against their last 4 opponents who averaged 35 or more points a game. They've dropped 3 of those 4 games. But you know what? This wouldn't matter as much if the Patriots hadn't lost that Sunday night game already, or if the Chiefs didn't come into Foxborough the first Thursday night last year with the Kareem Hunt coming out party. That didn't happen. It would have been a different story, but I think the Pats score a lot. They're going to be in this, and it's going to go from 3.5 to 4 because everyone's going to double up their winnings on the favorite. So expect that line to move. Pats win big.
I love the over here, and I'm going to take you through a modern-day gambling tutorial that is going to blow everybody's mind and make Todd Fuhrman so jealous. All right, let's start here. Highest over-under in a regular season game going back all the way to 2005. This is the record, all right? 59.5. All right, there you look at it. Both the first 2 also went over. Let's also go to the next screen here.
Oh, he's got 2
Let me hit my clicker. My clicker here. I got 3 screens for you, Vanetta.
Boy.
Here's the other one here. Games with an over-under of 57 or higher in the NFL in the last 15 season, including the playoffs. 10-3, you take the over, and final screen for you to bring home my case. How have overs done in NFL games so far this season and in college football? You would be a winner if you had blindly bet them. Take the over. It's my NFL blood bank guarantee. Don't overthink this. 59.5 over in Patriots going up against the Chiefs. Boom. That's what you call great analytics.
This is like sitting in a boardroom where Clay's going through a PowerPoint trying to give us a sales pitch. But you know what the best part of that was? It was still more interesting than the permutations you went through for the AFC North, where if the Bengals win this game and the Ravens win this game, to map it all out. So at least you made some point that we might be able to make money off.
I don't think it was
but I still highly doubt
I think
that.
they were both pretty equally boring. All right. Moving on, Cowboys wide receiver Allen Hurns insisted he wasn't taking a shot at quarterback Dak Prescott when he said earlier in the week that Cowboys receivers are creating separation. Hurns later attempted to clarify those comments. I love this drama. Take a listen.
You know, the main thing I just wanted to get across, you know, it wasn't no shot at Dak. You know, there's a lot that goes into it, you know, even in the past game, whether it's receivers getting open and not just Dak making the throw. You know, he also got protection issues, and then sometimes he does make the throw, and we leave plays out there on the receiver position. You know, it's across the board.
Clay's already shaking his head. Dallas is a 3.5-point home dog against Jacksonville this weekend. Sal, are the boys a smart bet here?
I'm shaking my head, too, because Allen Hurns came from the Jacksonville offense. He has 1 touchdown and 8 receptions through 5 games, and he's going after Dak. He never, as far as I could tell, publicly went after Blake Bortles, which is where he came from. This is a new low for Jason Garrett's Cowboys. But listen, I would like Jacksonville in this game. Problem is they have 12 giveaways this year, which is tops in the NFL. I don't trust either offense. I would tend to lean under 40.5.
Well, Sal, you know why Allen Hurns is pointing fingers at Dak Prescott? He knows he's not going to do a damn thing against his former team because he's going to be locked down on the outside. So it's better to get ahead of it, blame Dak Prescott for his ineffective performance. But when I look at this Dallas team, they're much better at home in terms of offensive efficiency than what we've seen on the road. And we saw Dak hit a few big plays in the game where they had to sneak by the Detroit Lions. And I look at Dallas defensively. They're still a half step behind Jacksonville, but this unit doesn't get enough credit. And for the way Blake Bortles has treated the football like a hand grenade, if they can force a few short fields, Jacksonville's without Leonard Fournette. They don't have Corey Grant. So I really worry about Bortles dropping back to throw it 35 to 40 times. DeMarcus Lawrence will be living in his backside. This just has the feeling Jacksonville's second road game in as many weeks. Dallas back against the wall. I think this is where we see the Cowboys at their absolute best, and they're a very live home underdog.
If you ever question how much the Dallas Cowboys dominate the NFL media market, I wouldn't know Allen Hurns if you put him out there with 20 other guys and said, who is Allen Hurns? I wouldn't have no clue. When we played that video, I'm like, that might not even be Allen Hurns. Like, I don't even know that that's actually Allen Hurns that we just showed. Could have been anybody on a high school or a college football team. That's how much the Cowboys dominate everything. Here's the play. The play is the under. Sal's actually right. And the reason why the play is the under is because you're dealing with Blake Bortles and Dak Prescott, neither one of whom is very good. I got a graphic for you. Look at this. They are the 28th and the 29th worst quarterbacks right now from completion percentage, 27th and 25th. Turnovers, they're awful. Blake Bortles actually tied for last. And also, on top of that, Dak Prescott continues to decline in his overall ability. Every year he's getting a little bit worse. The play here, and I'm going to bet on this a little bit later in the show, a little bit of what we call a teaser in the business. I'm going to go ahead and take the under in this game. Yes.
You know, right now, Blake Bortles shouldn't be a road favorite against any defense with a pulse. I mean, you look at how poorly he's performed in losses, a passer rating less than 62. And if Jacksonville doesn't have a ground game to lean on, and this is a one-possession game late, I don't have any confidence in Bortles' ability to drive the length of the field. I think ultimately Ezekiel Elliott's the difference maker here. You can run on this Jacksonville defense. They just have to find a way to hit a big play in the passing game, similar to what they did against the Giants Week 2 on Sunday Night Football.
All right, moving on. The NLCS gets underway tomorrow right here on FS1 as the Dodgers travel to Milwaukee to take on the Brewers. The Dodgers are currently a big favorite at -165 tomorrow. I know that I'm saying tomorrow as a Canadian, and I know that you guys all think about that. Tomorrow, Game 1 matchup, Todd. What worries you about this line? I can even hear it now.
Well, when I look at this series price, Rachel, it's been fascinating to watch it move. It actually opened at some shops out here in the desert with the Dodgers as low as a $1.30 favorite, which I thought was a drastic overreaction to how well Milwaukee had played. And this is the hottest team in baseball right now in the Brewers, but you wonder how the interruption in continuity may disrupt some of their performance on the field. The Brewers were so used to being in a life-or-death situation. They carried that momentum to win the Central, into the series sweep against the Rockies. I love what both of these teams have offensively, but the Brewers' luxury, they have a bullpen you can rely on. So as long as the starting pitching gives them 3 to 4 quality innings, and I implore, like Clay said, Alan Hearns on the street, you could ask 100 baseball fans, they might not be able to name 2 Brewers starters. This is a team, though, they hand it off to Corey Knebel. They give it to Josh Hader. I think the Brewers will relish the underdog role, and I really think they have an excellent chance to knock the Dodgers off as slight underdogs this year.
Yeah, this is a hefty price for an up-and-down postseason pitcher. I know his name is Clayton Kershaw, and everybody knows him, but look at these numbers. 7-7, 4.35 ERA, and that's with the 8 shutout innings against the Braves the other day. So, I don't know. I keep waiting for the hammer to drop here. I think that price is too heavy, especially against a lineup that hasn't lost in 3 weeks, which is reminiscent of what I have done to Todd the Fraud and Clay Stayaway. But I like the Brewers as an underdog game 1, and I like them to win this series.
Again with the damn crown.
I feel like
with the damn crown.
I might give it to Clay
like
to cut his hair. I don't know.
Please do.
This is a great haircut, by the way. I want to say this off the top. My wife said you should put your hair, some gel in your great hair, and I threw some gel on like 2 minutes beforehand. I'm not a gel guy, and I think it might have thrown off the vibe of my hair. I'm just not trying to make excuses,
really
but just putting that out there a little bit.
Throwing his wife under the bus in the process. Gotta love it.
I'm just like Urban Meyer. Here's the deal. You got to make sure here, in my opinion, all right, you got to make sure that you factor in Clayton Kershaw now has the proverbial monkey off his back. I think that what he did last year in pitching the Dodgers to the World Series, I know he didn't go out like Justin Verlander and actually win the World Series, but I think this onus on him that has existed for a long time, that he was the Peyton Manning of baseball, is gone now. That they've been to the World Series, they lost in Game 7, he acquitted himself well. I think he's going to go out and play incredibly well. Now, I do think this. Milwaukee has had a great home field early. They went to late games situations. The crowd was insane. They haven't been to the World Series since 1982.
Whoa.
So I do think there's some value on the Brewers, because we talk a lot about streaks in baseball and how long it can take for somebody to get in and out. And to me, that is one of the most intriguing angles here. I do think ultimately, though, Clayton Kershaw in Game 1 is the play.
All right, guys. Good stuff. When we come back to Lock It In, 9 bets, 3 men who all won last night. Good for you guys, finally. And only one me. So stick around.
I'm Captain Obvious, and Hotels.com rewards me basically everywhere I stay. So why am I stomping grapes with aerobics enthusiasts near this B&B? Or doing goat yoga at this mountain resort? Or treating a destination wedding to the sweet sound of pug bongos. Because Hotels.com lets me do me. Where are my dogs at? Oh, here they are. Hotels.com. You do you and get rewarded. Take it away, Henry.
Bad Times at the El Royale is the best thriller in years.
Would you mind opening up the door?
No, I ain't gonna do that.
Staring at the original.
No one here is innocent.
4 stars.
You do know something, don't you?
Bad Times at the El Royale. Rated R. What makes a light beer great? That it has more taste? or that it's less filling. Yes, and yes. What are you holding? Miller Lite. Hold true.
Welcome to my store. It's one not bound by walls or limited by inventory or restricted by time. The only rule here is to untether your imagination and unleash it on the world. What's in store? Redeem them.
Tomorrow on FS1, the National League Championship Series begins with Game 1. Clayton Kershaw looks to continue his playoff dominance. As the Dodgers roll back to the World Series, go through Milwaukee, where Christian Yelich and a red